Hey guys, I'm Phil Ellis and welcome to my new show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I think we're going to have a really fun time over the course of the series, looking back at some really cool things. I know it's been a really tough year for everyone this year with the global pandemic, and no one suffered quite as much as people like myself because I'm a frontline worker in the entertainment industry. And my God, we've suffered. But we're not here to applaud my bravery. No, we're here to have a little look back, because when times are hard, you will find that you look back to happier times, and I've decided to have a look back to the 80s.
The 80s was a neon-clad dream world where shoulder pads were big, leg warmers were in, Patrick Swayze was a bouncer, and casual sex could get you killed.
What a decade. So one of the advantages of moving to my new place, this is my own cool pad, I got a bit of neon obviously, and people say, Phil, oh, you've moved back in with your mum and dad and you're nearly 40. I have not moved back in with my mum and dad. This is an extension, and it's almost its own flat. It just so happens to be attached to my parents' house. I've got everything I need now. I've got a bed over there, got a bar, and there's a grid outside. So basically, I've also got a toilet. It's en suite. What more do you want? So one of the other advantages of, hanging out with your parents again, being within spitting distance, and they do spit, is that you can go through all your old stuff. So I've been up in the loft, or attic, if you're American. And I've been going through some old things. So I thought, over the course of the series, I'll look back, reminisce, and give you a little bit of info about stuff that you may not have even seen before, or you might remember fondly. So let's jump in. I got this box from upstairs. It's an old Hush Puppy shoebox. And we used to have a basset hound called Rambo. R.I.P. Died of lung cancer, never smoked. Weird, isn't it? You'd have thought a beagle maybe, but not a basset. This is a picture of Rambo at my 10th birthday party. I love the fact I've got one guest, it's a dog, and he doesn't want to be there. So I've gone through this box and there's loads of really cool stuff. I mean, that's the Star Wars, the band in the Mos Eisley bar thing. Darth Vader. Oh, put some clothes on, you dirty Jedi. I think that's like a Zoid keyring. Pretty might keep that now, actually. I haven't got any keys. But one of the things I found here that I'm really excited about are these. Now, if you don't know what these are Garbage Pail Kids. So episode 1 is going to be all about, find a good one, the Garbage Pail Kids.
The Garbage Pail Kids were a series of trading cards released in 1985 by the Topps Company. They were a parody of the massively successful franchise, the Cabbage Patch Kids. But the Garbage Pail Kids were just too damn cool for school. Literally. They were banned from many schools for being controversial, a bit like myself. For being controversial, not from being banned from schools. They were so cool that they even got their own film in 1987. Yes, it was a massive box office bomb. Yes, it's one of the most disturbing things you'll ever see in your life. But it's a film, innit?
So let's kick off first with the first card, Acne Amy. That's a lot of fun already, isn't it? She obviously suffers horrifically from acne, which is a very traumatic illness to have, really.
She probably woke up every morning and ran to the bathroom with hope in her heart that today is the day I see an improvement. And then she'd look up into that mirror and she'd see those open wounds and weeping sores, and then she would weep, and those tears, those salty tears, would roll down her cheeks into those open wounds and sting, and she'd know she'd have to go to school that day with other children, perhaps making comments behind her back, pointing. And then she'd go home that night and sit under the sun lamp for 12 hours in the hope that it'll improve the next day, waking up only to see that it hasn't. And the only thing she's gained is that in years to come, when she's much older, she will be diagnosed with skin cancer.
Anyway, that's a lot of fun, isn't it? And we continue with the body shaming with Sumo Sid. Just a fat lad. As you can see, he's so fat, he's cracked the floor. That's fine. You see, back in the 80s, body shaming was trendy, and it's not quite as cool as it used to be body shaming anymore, but like most trends, I'm sure it will come back around, and we can all enjoy it when it does. There we go, Ancient Annie. That's just an old woman, really, all the wrinkles there, and I think we can all agree she should be fucking ashamed of herself. Absolutely disgusting, getting that pile. Actually, thinking about it, the first 3 cards we've pulled out are all probably in the high risk category, really, for death by COVID, aren't they? So they won't be with us anymore. Next up, we have Art Gallery. Body art there, obviously tattoos all over him. Well, what's he covering up emotionally, I wonder, with those tattoos? What are you hiding, Art? That's it. It does also beg the question, you've got to remember these are kids, Garbage Pail Kids, they're not adults. So Art Gallery's found a dodgy tattooist who is happy to stick a needle and inject ink into a baby. He's wearing a fucking nappy. Can't be older than 2. That's the 80s. Next up, Ventilated Vinny. That's quite horrific as well, isn't it? Death by firing squad there. If you can see all the bullet holes in him, and start looking into it more, you probably think the Ventilated Vinny might actually be a political prisoner and probably died horrifically for fighting for what he believed in. Next up, Zach Plack, and I love the artwork on these as well. It's not to be sniffed at all. They're really cool, and I do actually genuinely love these cards. But again, when you start to really think about them, that is basically a baby's severed head stuck on a bit of wood. Not so much fun when you look at it like that, is it? Brainy Brian, that's a cool one. Like that reminds me of the old Hammer horror films, Peter Cushing as a scientist, or like, he looks like the scientist out of Day of the Dead, the third in the Dead trilogy, before Romero came back when zombies became cool again and ruined everything. Foul Phil there, that's basically a child that fucking stinks, by the look of it. It's child neglect, that really, isn't it? Poor thing, it's not his fault. He'd probably not been told to brush his teeth. Very sad, actually. Bent Ben, another physical deformity there for us all to have a good old laugh at. There he is, the Quasimodo bastard. Got a set of keys there so he can lock himself away so that society doesn't have to deal with him, you know, and feel awkward in conversation, trying not to reference his big fucking lump on his back. Okay. Dizzy Dave, just a little bit of fun there. Little kid twisting around. There we are. Cool, they are cool, these. Look at these. Cheeky Charles, look at these fucking fat cheeks. Looks like a Tory, doesn't he? You know, big fat cheeks. He's got a little jock jacket on, so he probably, you know, played football. And he's got a head that looks like it should be stuck on your ass. Dead Ted, this is one of my favourites. I love this one. Zombie coming out. But again, when you do actually think about it, that is a dead child. It's a reanimated dead child. Live Mike. Now this is cool because this is the picture that you make up with the jigsaw pieces on the back of various cards. Cool. There we are. Like that one. Oh, carrying on the theme there. Stormy Heather. Another death of a child by electrocution. But this time it's not from electric guitar. It's from good old-fashioned Mother Nature. The cruelest of all mistresses. Unless you go to mine, but she does overcharge. Then we have Brutal Bridget. That's a cool one. That's a lady dragging a man. No, you've got to remember these are kids. Garbage Pail Kids. That is a child, a female child dragging a man-child back to her cave, I'm assuming, against his will. There we are. The role is reversed with Brutal Brad. And there he is. He's clearly clubbed a young girl over the head and is dragging her back to his cave. Oh, the 80s. It was a more innocent time. So there you are. That's a Garbage Pail Kids. Do tune in next time where I'll probably be checking out some Star Wars figures, or there's fucking loads of crap. I've even got Bill and Ted figures in the loft. It's ridiculous. I might try and sell. Actually, I'm not even going to pretend I haven't looked on eBay already, and they're worth fuck all. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Look after yourselves. Please like and subscribe and click that button.